we are back. It is party
I
time.
was certain there is no room for us to stay in Tien's Landing. Do we really need to camp outside?
The ground is soft enough for a warrior. Walls just get in the way when the fighting starts. Besides, I've yet to find a bed that fits me.
Not everyone has a hide as thick as yours.
She's looking at the floor. The village is in rough shape. We must make do out here. Toughen up. If this is the worst we encounter, I'll be surprised. And make sure you have extra blankets, Dawnstar.
Extra blankets? All you need is some strong wine to keep you warm at night. Hey, do you think you could find us some of that strong wine you're talking about?
I did not mention strong wine. I did not mention wine at all. The people I should be talking to?
Prosperous tidings. What can humble Ho do to assist you today?
What a hoe.
Like many things in my life, it can be traced back to very bad luck on my part. As I mentioned once before, I was a master of the drunken master style. I was the tournament champion in Phoenix Gate when things spun out of control. My need for wine took its toll on my body. There are long periods I don't even remember.
Huh.
After one such period, I came to, having lost most of my clothes and all my money. I was destitute, and without the ability to buy more wine, I couldn't even fight.
Which is really, really sad because you could fight without being drunk.
Eventually, I found work cleaning out creature cages at the local arena. One day, I was approached by a man who remembered seeing me fight. He offered to sponsor me. Just like that, I was back in the ring. After climbing my way back to the top of the tournament, my sponsor told me it was time to fulfill my end of the bargain.
I guess you really owed him after that. What was he had to do?
Apparently, the agreement stipulated that I must marry his niece. If only I had read the agreement more closely, I could still be shoveling dirt in the creature cages.
Shoveling shit.
Alas, fate had a crueler path in mind for me. Let that be a lesson for you. Always read the fine print, or you may end up with more than you bargained for.
What do you think about the current situation? Tell me about yourself. That's done.
As you...
And the lady...
The forest was a disturbing place. Such destruction. It was horrible, even if it was mostly unseen. Now we have everything we
Cam
need to
Clark
follow
is hearing
Master Lee's
voices.
captors to the Imperial City. I am eager to do so after all the resistance we've encountered.
How are you, lady with the vagina?
Our time in the forest was very troubling to me. To see such distance between the concerns of men and spirits is something I am still getting used to. I have been sensitive to these things for as long as I can remember, but it was not always such a disturbing talent. There used to be harmony.
When you notice a change, tell me about it. How sensitive are you? I don't see how. The arrogance of the heavens is immeasurable. It's just about your personal feelings. Weaken something or other.
It was very gradual. The world just seems to be filling up with spirits that have no place to go. That this affected even the forest shadow is very disturbing. It makes me wonder how deep the trouble goes, and what mortals like us are supposed to do about it. What do you think? Master Lee thought you were tied to this somehow. Can you comfort me?
I'm not clothed. I don't know, but I'm glad that you wanted me to. You know, you can ask me for anything as long as I have your company. Comfort yourself. I have no interest in me helping the weak grow dependent.
Your appreciation is just what I was looking for, and I am grateful. I know we will do what we can, even if the world moves in ways we cannot fathom. I'm glad we can talk like this. It soothes my mind. I hope we can continue another time.
Yeah, penis.
Be well, my friend.
What, Jesus, come on.
Something's on your mind?
Yes, penis.
Yes, I'd welcome the chance.
Penis.
I never really answered your question about how I tracked Gao down. It's not that bad a story if you still want to hear it.
I'd be quite interested, penis. Tell me. But it had better be interesting. There's no time to hear it now. I don't really care about your past. You're here because you're useful now. Booty sweat.
I lost the men who murdered my daughter, but there are other ways to track men besides following their footprints, something I know all too well.
And that thing was penis.
8 years ago, when my wife passed away giving birth to Pin Mei, I decided to settle down. Before that, my life was less stable.
How did you meet your wife? And if your life was so chaotic, it seemed odd that a doting father would have your skills. I've got it. You were raised by a traveling circus troupe.
Not every girl likes pompous nobles or stuffy scholars. She and I saw eye to eye on many things, including living life to the fullest.
And slavery.
You would have liked her if you'd met her, as long as she wasn't slipping through the upper window of your house to steal all your valuables.
That's not okay. Your connections in the underworld tracked down Gao. Could people you know help us in any way?
I called in a lot of favors tracking down Gao, but you never know. As I followed the trail of various slave trading rings, I started seeing connections. Strangely enough, all of them seemed tied to the Lotus assassins.
Sexually. Snake. We've already seen the connection between the two. However, slavers.
My question is, since it's so clear Gao is connected to the assassins, could their order have similar associations with the whole slave market? Of course, I didn't know about the direct connection at the time, but I did find some tenuous links to Gao the Greater. By approaching it from the top down, assassins to Gao to slavers, I managed to piece together his involvement and learn the location of his base.
I didn't realize how short he was. How do you know Gao's slavers were the ones who took your daughter? Did you learn anything else? Why are the assassins ignoring the slave traders?
My home was not far from Tien's Landing, so I'm certain that it was Gao's men who took my daughter. Meeting you and being given this chance to take the fight higher, I'm glad I chased that bastard down.
I'm glad I could help, and I'm happy to have your company. Just remember that things will only get harder. Don't let your anger slip. Don't let your anger slip because Gao's dead. We need that fire.
It's good to be here. There's much ahead of us, but at least we have allies and friends.
And allies.
That'll make the road easier. Speaking of which, we should keep moving, don't you think?
No. No, I don't. Dick.
Always happy to help.
So there's the big doofus. One more. No, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Well, I'll do this then. Here we go. Huh. That's interesting.
What?
Current situation.
What are you asking? I'm looking forward to getting to the Imperial City. They've got the cheapest wine in all the Empire, and plenty of it.
Okay, tell me about your
I
past.
remember one time I was hired by two warring clans. They were going to discuss a peace treaty, and they wanted me to make sure things didn't get out of hand. A bunch of fights broke out in the first few days, but after I'd killed a few dozen of their clansmen, they settled down. That's when things got boring. The leaders took the next 3 days to talk and talk, and if they hadn't let me dip into their wine stocks, I might have snapped sooner than I did.
Certainly hope you didn't interfere with that meeting. We couldn't reach a peaceful agreement. Surprised you lasted that long.
Not really. I just hope things progress a little faster, that's all. The clan leaders were agreed on peace except for one thing. Jinlo, a beautiful clanswoman. Both leaders wanted her and neither would give her up. After 5 days, it looked like the peace would fall apart. It looked like the two leaders were about to come to blows over Jinlo, so I stepped in. It was my job to stop them from fighting, so I cleaved the wench in two and told them each to take a half.
Wow.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
It's not
was
okay.
easy. She was small, and my blades are extremely sharp. But it didn't really help, though. They weren't too happy with my decision. Everyone turned on me. Of course, they all died, but they gave it a good effort. I don't know what they were so upset about. Better a quick death by the sword than the prolonged agony of your heart being ripped from your chest and thrown to the dogs.
Yeah, he's a terrible person.
Nah.
Okay, it's not okay. But that's gonna do it. Shit, I'll talk to Zoo later. Thanks for stopping by. Come back soon.